All right, what is up, everybody? Shadow Scout 0013 here, coming in with a recording with Nick from the Discord and from the different tournaments. He and I wanted to sit down and talk about the Aqua Droids and a few different lists. So we both kind of go over two of our own lists, and then we kind of make one at the end. That's a little bit different that hopefully you guys enjoy. And we talk a lot about CIS and the different things that kind of go well with the Aqua Droids and Crab Droids. We talk a lot about them. So definitely stay tuned for all of that. He's also got a tournament this weekend, so if you want to kind of keep up with him, that'd be awesome. I'm sure he would very much appreciate that. Also, just to remind you guys that there is a giveaway going on for YouTube specifically, and that is for the Essentials kit. That is for some awesome standing orders cards that are alt art and the holographic Dooku card. So if you're interested in winning those, I'll announce the winner and post that video on Christmas Day as like a woo Merry Christmas. So you can if you see it, what I would do is just comment down below and get with me on Discord so that I can send it to you, and that'll be just ways to enter there. I'll do a separate Discord giveaway. The Discord giveaway will be the custom POIs that my friend made for me. Basically, it's you're not going to see it on here, but one of the winners of them last time was wanting to donate it, and so I'll do a Discord giveaway, and I'll announce that on Discord. We'll figure out a way to kind of set it up so that way whoever comments, and maybe I'll do the drawing. I'll have y'all all. I'll number you. We'll get there. But yeah, go ahead and head on over to the Discord. You can go to the CIS list. We're going to see some awesome painting by Zero Mouse. He did an amazing detailed job with what is this, Sunfalk? The amount of detail is absolutely insane with this. So yeah, you can check out all of those on there, and even talk with Master Mud, Emperor Atlantis, and everyone else with CIS, Empire. You got Saved and Tyler and Hope, DDR, Penguin, Grant. These guys are fantastic to talk to. If you've got any questions, you can always post a list. Ask, if you need help, or maybe if there's fun ideas that you have. You can talk with us there. If you do any painting, you can head on over there to the Hobby General and just kind of post what you're doing. I really like seeing what all of you guys are doing. So head on over there. You can also head on over to the Clan of Shadows Patreon, where you're gonna get stuff early, and you're gonna be able to kind of see things that just aren't usually out until later in the week. But yeah, that is awesome. And then just be a subscriber, leave a comment down below. But yeah, I'll go ahead and let us get back to the show ahead. All right, what is up, everybody? Shadow Scout 0013 here, coming in with Nick.
Hello.
And today we're going to go over Aqua Droids and kind of discuss the lists that we've put together and kind of talk about our lists and what we think about them. And I know that you've kind of done something a little bit different than what I've done, and I'm really interested in the take that you've got and the list that you have. Kind of talk about it in a minute, but first we can go ahead and have you been able to practice or get in any games with Aqua Droids or Crabs even?
Not yet. No, I've just kind of been playing around with lists, to be honest. Because I've been practicing for a tournament with my Rebels, because I've been playing Rebels again. So.
Okay, and then you haven't played against them yet at all either?
No, I haven't played against them yet either. So it's just basically going off the stats and kind of trying to compare them to other units that I do know and see how they do, kind of in my mind, and see what would be fun. So that's more what I'm coming from right now, is kind of like a fun factor.
Okay, yeah, I've only played up against Crabs, and
Okay.
yeah, those things are fast, so it's really cool to
Yeah.
see them with even a super tac droid to get that reinforcements in.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of really does help them move quite a bit, and with the base size, I think they move up 25, 26 inches or so with reinforcements.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
So
insanely fast. Yeah.
yeah, and then maybe pairing them now with Aqua Droids, I feel like it's going to be a very deadly combination. We'll probably see that a lot, kind of like we've probably seen, Anakin 501st with arcs and commandos. I'm sure it's going to be
Yeah.
a staple that you see everywhere. And so, yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about them, maybe some combos of what
Hmm.
maybe compare really well with them, and then we can go over the lists that we've prepared if you want.
Sure. Sounds good.
All right, so let's take a look real quick at the Aqua Droids. So they are they have AI attack and move, so basically engagement protocols. They've got armor 2 and infiltrate, which is really really good because they're only speed 1, but their base is huge. It's what is it? It looks like it's the base of speeder bikes.
Yeah. It looks like
Okay,
that to me too.
that or ATRTs, one of the two. I think maybe ATRT. Um,
That would be insane.
yeah.
That would be really fast.
Oh, that's gonna be really good. I like it.
Yeah.
But they've got a crushing punch, which is only in melee, a red dice, impact 1. They have laser cannons, which is range 1 to 3, which is really good. At least they've got some range, which is a single black and white dice. They do surge to hit, and then they've got surging white saves. Like I said, they're speed 1, and then they've got 3 health each. They don't break, so that's actually pretty good. And they are a ground vehicle, which means they're going to block line of sight, which is very interesting. I think that we're going to see some very mobile walls and very malleable walls. And I think it'll be good because if, I don't know if you've thought about pairing them with a Force user or Geonosians or anything like that, they're going to be able to kind of curve around really well and protect the flanks a little bit of the Force user. And then the other thing that
Yep.
I've been talking about is since they're a ground vehicle and blocking line of sight, they can't be forced pushed away.
Right.
So if you bubble yourself in and you don't, and your opponent either doesn't have force push, it's going to be really good because they also have an engagement or a melee. But even though they're a ground vehicle, I guess they're not considered in melee still.
Right.
So we're going to see a whole bunch of fun shenanigans, I think, with that. And then, real quick, I know that they have a heavy. The heavy is impact 2, range 1 to 3, 2
Yeah.
red, and a white. So that is the profile for the awesome looking Aqua Droid.
They
So,
do look awesome.
yeah, no, I'm excited.
They Have you ever seen the black hole, like an old 80s movie from Disney? They remind me
Mm-mm.
of like Maximilian from the black hole. Um, you should look it up. It's pretty funny. He's like a big red robot and he's got kind of the spinny hands they do.
What?
He kind of reminds me of
Maximilian?
that, which isn't a bad thing. It's just like a kind of a funny thing to me.
Let me see. Maximilian Black Hole.
I don't
Ah,
recommend.
yep.
Yeah, the movie is
Okay.
very interesting, and one of the robots has like googly eyes that are like construction paper. But it's one of those movies that you watch and just kind of get to have a fun time looking at because it's old and kooky.
Yeah,
They
it
kind of look
seems
like
like it.
Maximilian.
Okay. Hey, I see it. I know what you're talking about now.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, what were your initial thoughts on the Aqua Droids and the unit itself?
When I saw them, I thought it was really cool that it was a vehicle with infiltrate. I don't think we've seen that before. It's a heavy with infiltrate, which is really, really neat because you can just stick those out there and then start doing things with them right away, which I don't think we've seen a lot of other, vehicles have. They either have to like move on, scout. I know ATRTs have the scout, but it was interesting to see them just have that right away. We're here, edge of our deployment zone. We're moving towards you, and maybe getting a shot off or two with that range 3. Range 3 is pretty much from deployment zone to deployment zone now, so that's kind of a guaranteed shot, um, at least something probably. So I thought that was really cool. I did notice the surging was cool because like 65 points is their base cost, and the Rebel bus does not surge, doesn't have a weapon, and they do have a weapon. They're less tanky, but they do more for that same base cost. And like a surging black and white is not bad. That's pretty good. That's like old ARC troopers, and those used to be pretty good because I'm say surging arc troopers because they had surges to share. Um, I know they don't surge, but surging black white is pretty good. For 65 points, that's really decent. 3 black, 3 white. That's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's crazy nowadays because like our dice pools are huge now. 70 points you see like sleeper cell throwing 12 black, so it's kind of like it's good, but it's not great. Their wounds though, 3 apiece, so they're 9 wounds and 3 each, which is good. Some people were worried they're gonna be like 2 wounds like dark troopers, but they're 3, so that's pretty good. So I was kind of looking at them thinking, oh wow, this is kind of like the same thing with like line of sight blocking as a rebel bust, but with shots. So I think that's where I was kind of coming from because I looked at that heavy and it was like, what is it, 28 points for the heavy? Yeah, 28 points for the heavy, and it's like a 2 red and a white, and then it's 3 wounds, which I think the wounds are more valuable, quite honestly, than 2 red and a white for 28 points. In my opinion, I don't know. It's a good gun, but it's not like it takes your unit cost from like 65 to 93, which is then starts hitting that kind of price point where in Separatists now I was thinking I'd rather have B2s or BXs or Maul or something like that. So I was kind of looking at them as more of like a line of sight blocker, even without the heavy. Which I don't know. You might want the heavy for the wounds and the plink, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. So that's kind of where I was coming from.
Yeah, I
With
think the
them, the
extra.
infiltrate though, it's going to be huge because you can infiltrate them and then infiltrate Maul. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, you're going to be able to see a lot of good CIS forces already ahead of everyone,
Yep.
especially Shadow Collective and Empire. They're kind of lagging on the either scouting party or
Yeah.
you got to equip recon intel for everyone. Now it kind of, I mean, I'm glad they have infiltrate because then you don't have to have crabs give them just scout one. Now they're able to just get
Right.
immediately on the board. And
Yep.
armor 2 white saves, it's not bad. I mean, it's basically an
Yeah.
ATRT for rebels
Yeah.
basically. So
Healthier ATRT.
yeah, much better.
Mhm.
Um, Now the impact that they've got is really going to be good on the heavy. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can bring, I guess the RPS for droids. I don't know. Is that RPS a
Rainbow.
it? Well, it doesn't exhaust. I guess is right. No, it's
I
cumbersome.
think it
Okay,
does.
that's kind of
It.
sucks.
I think it does exhaust. The clone one doesn't, right?
No, no, vice versa. I think. No, wait, maybe
Oh,
not
okay.
exhaust. I think it's just cumbersome. They both don't exhaust. I think it's just the
Okay.
cumbersome keyword that kind of really sucks because it's harder to move. It does have the impact two, so now you've got a more
Okay.
mobile impact two
Yeah.
gun, and so I'm excited about that actually.
Yeah. Cumbersome is brutal now. It's really, really hard
Yep. And so I think
because you
that's
can't
another.
shoot it round one.
Mm-mm. And then if you want to keep moving, especially if you've got like either shifting priorities is better than recover the research because at least if usually what I try to do, at least with shifting priorities, is I'll get into a good position where I can, if I let my opponent usually take the first round of scoring, like round two, everything gets pushed to me and all of my
Right.
guys are pretty much in a good spot and then I can get an extra round of shooting rather than trying to move more and get it, and then I've kind of hopefully
Yeah.
dwindled down a little bit more of their army, and then I'm more in a better position to kind of score. So
Mhm.
cumbersome is okay in that aspect, but again, when you're trying to move, it's not good.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not. I do think B2s have changed the game a little bit for the impact on separatists because they do have the impact wrist rockets now.
Mm.
Because before they didn't have anything with impact other than the Ha, which was you couldn't use close, and the game is kind of close. And so I do think that's kind of changed it because I have run into some B2 players that that impact is brutal for enemy players.
Yeah, and I think almost every list has to have some sort of impact now, which I think AMG is kind of allowing in the game now because almost you're
Yeah.
going to see almost every unit have the ability to have impact now, which is good.
Mhm.
And armor with the cover rules, I feel like armor is going to be way better. I hate that they're not going to get any cover because they're a ground vehicle, so that kind of sucks because they can be behind a line of sight, even half of them, but it doesn't matter now at that point. They're, so that's
Yeah.
kind of like a give and take.
I do miss cover on vehicles, especially speeder bikes. Now they were very annoying judge calls to make, speeder
Hmm.
bikes. But I do miss the cover because they really did need that kind of ability to get cover, and so I think, yeah, I wish some of the vehicles could get cover still, but I do think it's made judging easier overall.
I think what would be
Um,
good is if, cause, so Dark Troopers are an actual trooper unit and not a ground vehicle. And
right.
so they aren't, and they have a keyword that specifically says they cannot have cover. Now, what would be cool is even though this is a ground vehicle, maybe they had a keyword that's like, if half of them are hidden or something, then they can get cover since they're more of a trooper vehicle. So that would be kind
Yeah,
of cool just to kind
that would
of
be cool.
keep the game the way it is, but maybe just add a keyword for them specifically.
Yeah,
Now,
that would be
you
nice. Because if you hide like two of them behind a building, that would be much cooler if you could get cover still while just like protecting a force user or something. That would be really cool.
right,
I could see that being a play.
yeah,
But now, like, yeah.
especially with all the impact and everything out there.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, you
but
could get wiped with some of those impact, like a fives unit.
hmm
Those hit so hard.
yeah, and the grenades, the impact grenades are going
Yep.
to give you impact for.
Yep.
I wonder. So if you have a Magdet Enforcer, I know they're impact 3 with 3 black, but if also you were to give them the impact gun, would you wind up having impact 7 in that entire.
Oh, I think you would. Because, yeah, if you give him the impact grenade,
You
yeah,
substitute a black and a
impact
white for
7.
just a black, but then you actually gain another 4 impact, and so that one hit could really do some max damage and take out a lot. So hopefully we see some blacks and enforcers out there doing that with the impact grenades,
That
because
would be
obviously
crazy.
it's a little bit cheaper than um, the frag grenade, but you don't surge, so maybe you kind of have to have the Vigo in there to get that surge token, and
Yep.
you probably want to obviously have a ton of aims, but that's still
Yeah.
what 13 down to 12 dice still impact 7.
Yeah.
uh, so
That's
that's
crazy.
yeah.
Impact 7. That would, yeah, that'd be really brutal. And then a natty critter 2 would be expected. So you'd get like probably 8 through typically.
Hmm.
That would be insane because you would be probably taking 2 of these off in one go.
Right,
2 Aqua Droids out. Yeah. That, wow.
that's also if you can get them to the,
Yeah.
because it's hard enough to already get them forward.
Yeah. Transport helps, but it's still pretty far for a Black Sun to get to grenade throwing range right away
Hmm.
before they can get nerfed at all.
Well, okay, so back to I guess Aqua Droids. I'm sorry to derail that. um, I think you're saying that maybe a heavy isn't needed.
Maybe. I'd have to test it, but I do think for some of the lists that I'm doing, I'm not really counting on the Aqua Droids. So I don't need the heavy, I think, in some of these lists because I'm not really taking Aqua Droids for their impact. I'm taking them to protect like Dooku and Asajj or Maul or something. So I don't really necessarily care as much about them doing a lot other than just guarding. And that, like I said, that probably comes from my playing buses a lot right now. Because I've been using them to protect things and also just be a chunky unit that you can stick somewhere and score. Um, and also just soak up wounds. Um, so yeah, I
Okay.
think that's probably where I'm coming from. But I don't know. I think the heavy is a good model, and 12 health is a lot better than 9 for 28 points. It's not that much. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about.
Well, yeah, I'd like to see because I know that we've got lists tonight to kind of
Mhm.
explain and kind of show and talk over. So if you want to actually go over your lists, I don't know if you, yeah, I think you had sent them to me, correct?
I sent one of them, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll let you kind of talk about it if you'd like, and
Sure.
I'll pull it up and we can go over it.
Okay, cool. So I stuck a I'm just going to go through all the units first, and then I'll cover why afterward, so you can kind of talk about why it's there. So the tactical droid with improvised orders, maul, burst of speed, force choke, into the fray, offensive push. Um, B2 battle droids, I stuck the ACM and the Viper recon droids. I know they did get nerfed, but still, still pretty good. Cheap wound on B2s. B1s, B1 battle droid, portable scanner. This, then there's the BX droids with the Mind Saboteur into the fray. Fiber swords. This is a debate for me. I'm not sure if to put impact grenades on them instead or and take off the portable scanner. I think that's probably better. I was thinking about that. And then the crab droids have engagement protocols, heavy laser cannon, and then there's the aqua droids that are just naked. So the reason I built this is I thought, wouldn't it be fun to have a list that has all scout and all infiltrate? And I got it as close as I could with the units I wanted to play. So the only units that won't get scout are the B ones, and the others get scout from either natively like the BXs and then the crabs. So you'll have the two B2s scouting up and then the super tac. And then Maul obviously has infiltrate and the Aqua Droids have infiltrate. So the only thing that actually deploys with the deployment move is for its first action is the B1s. Um, so I did think that was kind of a cool, fun list to play. And then the Super Tac, he's in there for override. So that, like if he's off on the other side from Maul and the Aqua Droid, he can override it still probably because range 5 is really big. So if you don't want to move an attack, which is probably you're going to be doing anyway, but if you didn't for some reason, you wouldn't have to because you'd have override. And then he's also there for his 3 pip where he can give reinforcements and also the disengage one for the BXs because that's always really good. But mainly, I thought it would be really cool to have the ability to throw your crab droids on, scout one, move, maybe move twice. I don't know. I was thinking move, shoot, and then at the end of the round have them go another like speed one with the reinforcements. Or if you were playing against clones and you need that poison in there sooner, you could probably throw up the BXs behind some cover with the reinforcements. So it's really flexible. I thought. So I just thought that would be a really cool thing. And then obviously Maul gets his infiltrate card. So yeah, I thought it would be a really fun list. I'm taking kind of an even mixture of Maul and the super tact cards. That's all I'm really taking because I thought those would be pretty good in the list. So
Oh yeah. No, I think getting to infiltrate with Maul and then keep him behind the Aqua
hmm
Droids is a really great idea.
yeah,
And then even using the crab droids to kind of protect the Teoxys mines guys
yep,
and getting him into charge. You got a pretty heavy melee skew in
yep.
here, which is great. Do you know what battle cards you would want in this?
I was kind of thinking about that. I was thinking I'd probably want intercept because that'd be kind of a nice one to be able to push up really far and start challenging your opponent. And you can stick it on, either like Maul or maybe some crab droids that recon token. Um, and with some of the speedy things, you might even be able to challenge their back one really, really quickly. Those crabs do move really far. And with the reinforcements, they're already up there. I do think it's sad that they can't bubble themselves in melee because like that would be really cool if you could just move them up and have no worries about them, getting shot. But obviously that would be too good. So,
Yeah, for sure.
um, so you have to be careful. But I do think like you could get them back there to challenge their back point. So I would take that one. I think I would take maybe close the pocket. Maybe, I'm not sure. Just because you do have some pretty beefy things in there, like the B2s and BXs. Those are pretty good. You'd want to force engagements with like clones and stuff, because
Yeah,
the poison token is so good. So I think close the pocket maybe. Um, I don't think I would go recover because I know that's one that a lot of droid players take, but I don't think I would take that with this one specifically because it's
just too
not a lot of
spread
like
out.
range. Yeah, it's too spread out. I think for this list.
So
Um,
do you think maybe breakthrough?
I would yeah probably break through because you're so fast that you're probably there before they can stop you.
Hmm. And
Would
you have
probably be
11
what I'd go.
activations, so you've got plenty of
Yeah.
stuff to kind of move around.
hmm And for secondaries, I think I'd go recon mission because I like that one. Probably surface scan because you're probably going to be out of your activation. That's not an activation, your territory. And then I'd probably go. Hmm, that's a. I don't know for the last one. I don't know what I would go with.
Um, for the secondaries, you
I
said?
didn't pick that one out. Yeah, secondary. I don't know. Um, maybe sweep and clear. Probably. I'd probably go sweep and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because Maul,
usually
if you can get him into the back in like breakthrough or something, he could kill something and he could score the two.
definitely,
So
yeah,
yeah, I'd
with
probably go sweep and
breakthrough,
clear.
you're going to be in their deployment zone, so you'll definitely get a
Yeah.
little bit more in there. And then you said sweep and clear, and then you said what other two again?
Recon, probably recon mission, the one where you have to scan the two enemy units, and then probably surface scan because you're not going to really be hanging out in your deployment zone. I don't think with this list. Seems
What
pretty aggressive to
what
me.
about what about mark targets?
Hmm, that one's also good.
Because you're going to be if you're going to be getting in fairly close, fairly quickly.
Yeah.
You could go after the specific targets you want. They're probably going to target your crabs and or maybe
Yep.
Maul. But at the same time, you're getting everyone in really, really close. And hopefully, if they're focused on the crabs, maybe the people who are following up behind them can just take those guys out. Um,
Yeah. That might be a good one too. That might be a good one as well.
okay. And then what were your
Yeah.
advantages, you think?
Oh, I think I'd go cunning deployment, advanced, and I think I would take the probably the ordnance with
Okay.
this one, just for extra impact,
Yeah,
potential
because
impact. You can kind of, yeah,
I was going to say, you've got quite a bit of impact already in here, I think, don't you?
yeah, I kind of do. I got the B2s, and then I'd probably switch the portable scanner for impact grenades on the BXs, just in case, because they do hit hard. So I think
Yeah.
that would give you an option. So
And the heavy laser cannon, doesn't that have impact in it
heavy laser cannon.
for the crab
On
droids?
the Aquas? Oh, yes, yeah, I picked the impact ones, so I do have a lot of impact. Maybe I wouldn't take ordnance. Maybe I would take. Yeah, I'd probably just go prepared positions because then you could put the B ones on the table,
Yeah,
have
and you
everything out.
basically, yeah, I was gonna say you don't
Yeah,
have to deploy
yeah,
anything from the
yeah,
board edge.
yeah. That would be fun.
And since they've already got portable scanner, if you had to infiltrate Maul and then go with the B
Hmm.
ones, you could at least give him that, you know,
True.
dodge and not have to, and then be able to kind of move a little bit more and get way farther.
True.
So that would be actually a pretty good one.
That would be good. Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I think I would go to that instead. Garrison.
yeah, no, I think that'd be a great one.
Yeah.
Well, what we can do is I'll go over one, and if you want to send me your other
Okay.
list, I'll talk about this one real fast and one random one that I've kind of come up with. So let's see, I got Kalani mostly because of the Strategize 2 and the Direct AI, so that he can give the crab droids the aim and a dodge.
Nice.
And then he's got comms relay. I've got a T series regular droid with underworld connections. Also, so that way, Kalani can kind of give the AI unit or direct AI to the crabs, and then the T series can focus on the B1s, which can then swing it back to either the TAC droid or the T series, so that they can go ahead and start off, since they are going to have, since at least the T series has exemplar, you could probably go ahead and go with the T series, do a bolster, and then maybe either move or take a dodge and an aim and then move, or even bolster one to himself, one to Kalani, because I guess Kalani also has exemplar, so then you can at least give out those surges and whatever else you needed. So that way you've already got your token battery kind of set. You've got 3 Black Suns with the Magdet, the Vigo, and Recon Intel. So that way the scouting party goes to all your B1s. So then the only thing that doesn't have kind of anything for scout are your attack droids. Or if you wanted to give both your attack droids scout and then maybe leave two of the B1s without scout, that could also work. And then with the crab droids, with the B1s, one of them has electro binoculars, again for either exemplar or for the Black Suns. And then 2 of them have portable scanners for the, either the crab droids or again the T series. Now I tried to save points, and on the crab droids go with engagement protocols and comms jammer. I don't have a heavy on there because if you use the reinforcements, like I said, and you have the scout, you're going to be up there about 26 inches or so onto the board. So you're going to have comms jammer and engagement protocol. So they're going to basically be in your face. You can't give anyone around them an order because you've got comms jammer on there. And so the next turn, you're just going to already be moving and attacking. And they might be so far away from the attack droids, so you can't really use exemplar on them, which is why engagement protocols, to kind of save points, since you're probably not going to be anywhere near exemplar on that. And then I've got 2 Aqua Droids with the heavy and the emergency transponders, just to kind of, if they don't get it in order, they're going to actually have another aim, so you can move, get the free aim, take your shot. That's pretty much all you're going to need emergency transponders for. And since you've got the heavy, you've got your 12 wounds, you've got your 3 black, 3 white, 3 black, 4 white, 2 red. So you're going to be hitting pretty hard at range 3. And you've got your wall for your Black Suns, since your Black Suns are really going to need it. So you've got Infiltrate with Aqua Droids, and then you've got Scout 1 on all your Black Suns. So you can basically set up your Aqua Droids, or your Black Sun can go first, and then you infiltrate in, and then you've got a fully stacked Black Sun Enforcer unit. You got 3 of them, so then 2 of them can be behind. If you wanted to swap the recon intel and then just forget about the B1s and just have your scouting party go to the Black Suns, you could probably just give them the impact grenades for your impact 7, and then you still have 16 points. So if you wanted to maybe give the TAC droid aggressive tactics, so that way there's even more surges to go around, especially for the crab droids to surge to defend, especially after the 3-pip, where you're gonna give them reinforcements and you're gonna give them a surge for defense. So now they're turn 1, as they're rushing in, they're gonna have at least something extra to defend with, and that still gives you 13 activations at $9.99. And then your commands, you've got, they too will suffer mechanized incursion, so that way when you give your Aqua Droid an order, you can also give it to another friendly droid trooper. And so not only do you have your direct AI and your direct droid trooper unit, at least you're going to get a ton of orders out on that round, and maybe only have the crabs and your Black Sun in the bag. Preservation protocols for your disengage or your impervious, because it's 2 droid troopers. So you're going to give it to your B1s, but I mean, that's fine. I guess you could technically go with something a little bit different, maybe like push, but you might as well get something out of it. It also says or 2 AI units. So if you wanted to give your crab droids impervious, or even your Aqua Droids impervious. You could do that and a dodge
Nice.
token. And then Orbital Strike, you got Don't Underestimate Our Means, obviously, which is the good one. And then Assault, because I figured with Roger Roger, I mean, at least with Assault, you can give it to your Crab Droids. With Roger Roger, you're probably giving it to, you have to give it to Droid Troopers. And so they're already going to be getting an order with a whole bunch of direct stuff. And if you used Assault to give all 3 Crab Droids in order, you could direct AI an Aqua Droid, because they're probably going to be closer to the tax anyway.
Yep. Yep.
So you've got pretty decent order control. Your Black Suns are always getting an aim. They're all impact 7, just in case. And yeah, I feel like it's going to be pretty decent because everything else, the B1s only have portable scanners or electro binoculars for extra support, and you're just trying to build up everyone there. For the battle plans, you've got intercept. I've got shifting because maybe your B1s can go everywhere, but I think what you were saying with maybe breakthrough would be best, and then recover the research again, just because all you have to do is contest. You don't really need anything. Bunker assault would actually also be pretty decent because of how fast you're going to be already in their lines, and with comms jammer, they're not going to really be able to do anything. And with everything having either a scouting party or infiltrate or getting pretty close, I think it should be okay.
Yeah.
But I think that's not too bad. I got marked sweep and clear and recon, and then cunning deployment, advanced, and fortified. But maybe instead of fortified, if you wanted to give, garrison to give to one of your B1s, that'd actually be pretty decent. So yeah, that seems to be the CIS list I've drawn up on one of them.
That sounds gnarly. Sounds really, really fun. If you do get marked, were you just planning to like kind of hide the B1s in case they pick the B1s, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think the B1s could probably stay in the back, because if you've got,
Stay in the back. Yeah.
breakthrough or recover, you can go to the edges, or,
Mhm.
If anything, they can stay behind the Crab Droids, because the Crab Droids are also going to be line of sight blockers, because your
Right.
Aquas are blocking your Black Sun, and then your Crab Droids can maybe form a wall to kind of protect line of sight from the B1s if they're not already behind something. So I guess that could work.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be cool. Sounds really gnarly. 13 acts, you said?
Yeah. And that's with the 2 fully kitted out Aqua Droids and Crab Droids without a gun, because obviously I'm just trying to run them in, press W and go all the way.
Right. Yeah. Get them in there. Get them in
And
there
with
fast. And they got impact on the melee S2, right?
yeah, so the
Impact Pierce?
melee impact 2, Pierce 1. So they
It's crazy.
yeah. And I figured with marked targets, it kind of still lowers the threshold for you can only score up to 4 secondary,
Right.
rather
That's fair.
than like
That's fair.
bring him to heal. That's just so many different points that your opponent could probably score, because you've got so many vehicles. They're not going to take suppression, and the other guys are. So it kind of makes it easier for you to limit. All right, well, they're only going to score up to 4. If I can score even more in the beginning, then I'm not really worried about if they kill a B1 or 2.
Yeah, that's fair. And then on recover, I like that for your list because Black Sun are really independent. And if you just throw them to contest, they're probably killing whatever they got close to anyway. So it's like, oh yeah, are we contesting? Oh, oops, we secure it because it's dead.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
so I liked that one too, because
Yeah, and they're not.
Black Sun are good.
Yes, and they're not worried about like a tank or anything, obviously, because they're gonna have lots of grenades.
Impact 7. That's wild.
Yeah, I'm super
I
excited
do like
about it.
that change that they did with the grenades. I can't wait for them to redo the rest too, because it looks like they're gonna do some more with those. So yeah, I'm excited for those. They look cool.
Yeah, no, I wish they were already out, but waiting is fine. Patience is a virtue, so we're gonna try to keep working on that.
Yeah,
Now I see
building
you.
anticipation.
Hey, right, and it all come to a culmination in April. I think is April when
Mhm.
Adepticon is. So
I
that should
think
be
so. Yeah, yeah. Yep.
that should be a pretty decent month for
Yeah,
Legion.
we'll be jumping up and down, hopefully,
Yeah. Now I see that you've
I'm
got
excited to
a.
see what, yeah,
No,
Shadow
go ahead. Go
Collective is
ahead.
gonna be, cause we don't know anything yet about what they are gonna do to them. So,
Well, hopefully with Shadow Collective, and we could probably even make a whole nother video on this, but I think that you'll get the Shadow Collective as a battle force, keep it there, but then you'll get a mercenary faction, which will be pretty decent,
mm,
and hopefully we
that'd be
can.
nice.
It might not be as thematic, but it'd be nice to have just a mercenary faction altogether, so that you can just kind of build whatever.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And you can start doing silly, goofy stuff like Rebel Boba and like Cad Bane or something. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, no,
All
that'd
those
be
fun
fun,
things, different stuff. It'd be awesome.
right?
Uh, yeah. Not to take away from the Aqua Droids though, but I just have to say like I am excited to see what they got cooking. So.
No, me too, because they need some help. They need a little bit.
Mhm. Yep, I'm building my Shadow Collective right now. Um, trying in anticipation because I have it all. I just need to build it, so it's
Yeah, I
fun.
was gonna say, get them while they're
Models are great.
cheap. Oh,
Yep,
dude, I love them. I've got them hanging on the wall, and you look at them every day, and you're like, oh man, these things just look so good.
they do. They do.
All right, so I see you've got a very high saber count list here.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep. I mean, I like playing heroes, right? I've said it before when it was on. I like playing the heroes. I like playing fun things. So this is kind of like villains and some other stuff. So it's mainly focused in on Dooku and Maul and Ventress. So there's Dooku, burst of speed, force reflexes, force choke, inspiring presence 5. Just for the courage bubble, because courage 6 bubble with droids is pretty insane at range 4. Because if you can't suppress anything and you can't panic it, it's going to be a problem for people. Um, Maul, burst of speed, force choke into the fray, offensive defensive stance. But then Ventress, we have burst of speed, saber throw, offensive defensive stance into the fray. I figured just make them all super speedy, run them up behind the crabs and aqua droids, and get them into the fray as quickly as you can. Then I have two B1s with the rad cannons for poison, for like red save armies and stuff like clones. And it's also a reliable dice pool at range
Yeah,
2, and a lot of the game is range 2. So then the B2s with the ACM, and then I got crab droids with engagement and the heavy laser cannon and two naked aqua droids. Um, I don't know. You could do some finagling to get the heavies on there. I think that could be good. Like I'm kind of convinced now after hearing you talk about yours. Um, but I think in this list specifically, I was just thinking like, oh, get those saber users up there, and then they're gonna basically take the game. Um, it was the hope. And honestly, Dooku, I have faced him a lot lately, and with the changes, he's amazing. That surge to block did him wonders, and the direct trooper as well has been really good, I think, for him because it's just like so generic. He can direct anyone. Like if you have Maul next to him, you can direct Maul, which I don't think there's too many other characters that can do that. That can direct like other commanders and stuff like that so much. It's pretty cool. And then Asajj is obviously a killing machine. I give her saber throw because relentless. Because I figured you could like peekaboo from behind aqua droids or something or crabs, which could be pretty cool
oh yeah,
for her as well. Because I mean, 4 black dice isn't nothing. It's pretty good, especially with the cover changes, and then obviously Maul, because I just really think the idea of him infiltrating behind these droids is so cool. Like it just seems super cool and exactly what he would do. Like if there were aqua droids, he'd use them as a distraction, pop up behind him or something. So yeah, so I did that. I do think I'm not super happy about offensive defensive stance on him, rather than like offensive push or something, because I do see that run a lot with the offensive push, and that's really cool, especially when he has force choke, because when you recover, you get two things instead of one.
Hmm.
So I do think that would be something to look into, like squeezing points out somewhere else. Maybe it's getting rid of the cannons on the crab droids, like you were saying, because it does seem like this is like melee lists. I built basically two melee lists, I think. Um, so yeah, I do think that's a fun kind of list. I would take Maul's one pip, Dooku's one pip, I think, and then I take the like Maul's two pip obviously for infiltrate, and then Dooku's two pip, and then at last and yes, my master for giving her the Makashi, because I do think having Makashi on two characters is pretty cool. So
Oh
just
yeah.
kill an Anakin or something, you
I
know.
was about to say Anakin. I think is in the crosshair with this list.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you have it out for him, that this is the list to go with.
After Crucible, I do. I do have it out for him against.
Yeah.
he
Well,
he's not as good now, but it's yeah.
yeah. I think. I mean, I think he could still be really good. It's just everything else around him is not going to be as good either.
Yeah.
I still think force push is very necessary on him because of how he wants
Yep.
to move around. But
Hmm.
so I think
I'm
if no,
mainly
go
an
ahead.
op Luke player. Mainly is what I've been playing. I love it when people don't bring force push because it's just like it feels like you're bullying people, and you know it you're not because you paid the 40 points and everything, but it does feel like you're bullying people because you can just move their person wherever you want and they can't do anything about it. So I do think force push is pretty necessary. Yeah, I agree because it doesn't feel good when the other person doesn't have it. Well, it feels good for me, but not
Yeah.
them.
And with disengage, it's pretty cool because you can kind of
Yeah.
maybe move. All right, so I would assume that you're moving and forcing them to cohere into you, and then you can just disengage, and you've moved that unit even without force push, which is
Mhm.
really good in the first place. And then you have force push, and then you can still force push somebody. So you've now moved almost two units, and
Yep.
then maybe that's not even with. Maybe you play it what his three pip, or no, you serve your master well. What is that? His S1 pip.
One pip. Yep.
Yeah, so you do that. You move a unit. You move into another unit to cohere them far away. Then you force push a third unit. So now you've done that, and you've
Yeah.
still got charge left. Oh, it's so gross what
It is
Luke can
gross,
do.
and if Anakin can't push the little fort rebel troopers that you ran onto them with two dodges, he gets really sad.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's always funny to me. Like rebel troopers now, they have the two dodges. You can just run them onto Anakin. You can't kill them. The same thing with like a B1. If you actually put like a six B1s on Anakin and he doesn't have tenacity yet, he can't kill them unless it's like his one pip or his two pip. So it's kind of funny. You can, yeah, force push is needed for sure.
definitely. And I mean, force choke is, I think, secondary. Then, if you're not taking force push, you're probably
Yeah.
taking force choke because that's still an extra
Hmm.
wound, and hopefully can free
Right.
you up a little bit. And you don't need an extra dice. And if it's a two health unit, at least it's kind of helping you a little bit more.
Hmm.
Now, with this one, let's see. Why offensive defensive stance on Maul? I mean, I think Asajj definitely. I'm wondering because I haven't seen it very much on Maul, so I'm just actually curious as to why.
I don't really know either, to be honest. I was running out of points, and this list isn't as fully fleshed out as the other one. Because I would prefer offensive stance. Maybe even seize the initiative on him would be better, to be honest.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because it it's just kind of there. Because I threw it on. Offensive defensive stance. I was thinking like dodges on him are pretty good. Because sometimes you can't rely on the white dice, sometimes you can. So I don't know. I was just kind of thinking, well, if I can't have offensive push, at least I could keep him a little more healthy if he, dodges swings and does something else, maybe recovers for that force choke. Um, because keeping him alive is a good thing, but I think probably not offensive. Seize initiative would be better probably ultimately because you can activate him and then you could get orders on more things that you need because it is a key piece that you need to have an order on. So
Definitely, yeah, because you can always direct
yeah,
Asajj and then seize on all when you
yep,
need to, especially if you play like
hmm
Dooku's one pip. So then
yep,
you've got cunning, and then you've got three different force users with an order
yeah,
that you can really go in on.
yeah. It's silly. Yeah, cutting one pip. Only thing that beats that is Han, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So.
That, or even I guess the sister if, with her
Oh yeah,
interrogate.
sister. Yep.
But I mean, you're gonna have three force users against sister. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. I think she's gonna wind up
Dead.
going home.
Makashi.
Yep.
Like, ooh, she's 5 wounds, right, sister?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so,
That's
if
gonna.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's gonna go away pretty quick.
Well, I'll go ahead and pull up another one real quick. I know I've got this one here with a Super Tech Droid Kalani again with comms relay. Maul, I've got him with burst, saber throw, into the fray and tenacity. So like your normal training stuff. I've got
Yep.
saber throw in there because he's going to be. You can spend your first move to go from behind the Aqua Droids, throw your saber, move back.
Yep.
You might be able to get you know a if we were to somehow move points around to get a electro binoculars on the B1s, then they're giving him an aim so he doesn't have to worry about it, and he's throwing 4 red anyway. But red, you don't. I wasn't really thinking you're gonna need much of a much of a an aim token. I've got two B2s with the Ha, and then I've got a B1 with or two B1s with portable scanners. Again, because I think Maul's gonna want more dodges than he wants aims. And
Yep.
then I've got the probe droids with comms jammer, so that way if they do get close enough, they can comms jam. And if they're going to be handing out observation tokens, they can hand those out for the crab droids or the aqua droids, or obviously for
hmm
your saber throw. And then three crab droids with defensive protocols because you got the points and comms jammer. So you've got 4 units with comms jammer, and then two aqua droids with just the heavy, and that's it. So you got 12 activations. You don't have any heavies on the B1s, but your B2s are pretty decent. You've got your melee with Maul and your crab droids, and then like I said, you're with 4 comms jammers. You can kind of spread that out and make sure almost no one's getting any orders, and no one's going to be shooting the probe droids to begin
Right.
with. Which, if you were to go with the what is it called, mark targets, and you gave one of
Oh yeah.
your Sith probe droids the token, that's
That's
at
so
least
dirty.
yeah, yeah. You're preventing them from really doing anything there. And then yeah, I think for the commands, you've got obviously they all of Mauls, and then all of the super tac droids, giving those reinforcements again to the crabs, just because I think you can divulge what Maul's two pip and don't underestimate her means at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah, you can divulge both. Yep. You don't even have to play one on the first round if you don't want to, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
They changed
and
that. Maul doesn't have to play it round one, I don't think, anymore. So
nope, I think
cool.
it just yeah he can just resolve setup effects, and then he just
hmm
gains infiltrate, and that's really it.
Yep. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and then you got close the pockets, intercept, and breakthrough because everyone's Maul's got infiltrate. Your two B1s, or sorry, your two B2s will have Scout 1 thanks to the crab droids, and then your B1, one of them will have, or actually, your TAC droid could have it. So that way you only have two B1s that have to move up the table. Your Sith Pro droids are going to be a Maul detachment, and then
hmm
your both Aqua droids have infiltrate, and then all your crab droids have Scout 1. So it's just two B1s that aren't going to really be able to move very well. very far.
Hmm.
But yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
you're kind of covering the basis between really fast moving crab droids,
Hmm.
and although they don't have that heavy gun, again, the comm chamber is going to prevent anyone from trying to get an order around them. And
Yep.
if you if you want to try to go with them first, you're going to at least have an order with direct AI on the B2s, or at least both B1s and then one B2. You your odds are of getting them are kind of high since there's three of
Yeah.
them. So then you don't have
Yeah.
to really worry too much about the order control. And that's kind of like what I was thinking.
No, that seems really fun. Um, I yeah, both your lists are really good. I think this one is something probably I would play because it has like a saber user in it. Um, I do think the Black Sun one was really good too, but I do think this one's very cool as well. I like the idea of using the B ones to kind of keep just that exemplar and everything, really keeping everything else supported. I think that's a pretty cool idea. Um, I don't think I've seen as many because like in the past you would see a lot of B1s that would just be there to like pass aims and dodges to things. And I haven't seen that as much in 2.6, but I think it's probably still pretty good. So I think that's kind of cool to see that again. Because like Ion Spider lists in Old Legion used to see a lot of like B1s with aims that were just tossing, aims to stuff. So I do think that's a cool idea. And then the defensive on the crab droid seems really good.
Oh yeah, because I mean,
Yeah.
if you've got two B1s with portable scanners, and then you've got Kalani with
Hmm.
Strategize 2, you've got tons of dodges
Yep.
to go around.
Oh
And
yeah.
again, like maybe if you did decide to give the tac droid that Scout 1, and he's going to be closer to those tac droids hopefully by round 2, so he can give you an extra dodge when you need. And then if not, you can always strategize Maul and or give portable scanners to Maul. And then not only that, give another portable scanners to the tac droid, or he can just
Yep.
take a dodge himself. And then Maul can benefit from Exemplar because they're the same faction. It's not like a mercenary. So he's
Yep.
going to be able to get another whatever he needs. So that's
Yep.
the process
Yeah.
behind that one.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I like that a lot.
And I don't
Yeah.
play
Using
CIS.
it to support.
I feel like I need to at this point,
Yeah.
but
Same. Yeah. My main thing is I'm collecting CIS and I have played them, but my main part of the army isn't built yet because I need to get my basing scheme sorted out. I'm gonna do like a cobblestone basing for him.
nice.
But I have to 3D print my cobblestone roller still, so I'm still trying to get that done. Um, because it's like a resin thing because you don't want the lines from you know filament, so it's a little got to dig out the resin printer. So
Oof.
but yeah,
That's
once I
gonna.
do that, it's a mess. But um, yeah, I usually do big batches with the resin, so I'm getting a bunch of stuff supported, and then I'm gonna print a bunch of things and build my CIS because they do look really fun. Um, so far I have a full EXD list, but I think I might have to get some crabs because this kind of made me want some.
Oh yeah. I think the
Yeah.
the release this year of the crabs and the aquas is just kind of boosted
Hmm.
CIS.
Oh
I
yeah.
think probably above Rebels. I know that Bad Batch
Yeah.
came out, but it's just Bad Batch. They're by themselves. At least the crab droids kind of support a little bit more with their scouting party, and then with Infiltrate
Yep.
on the Aquas being able to also black line of sight. It's not just a unit for themselves. It's a more army supported type unit,
Yeah.
which I think has boosted the value of CIS a lot more.
Yeah. They changed the game for CIS. I mean, the scouting alone on B2s is monstrous. Scouting on Dooku and Ventress is crazy. So yeah, it totally changed the faction. Like they used to struggle getting out there, and now they don't. I do think it might be interesting to talk about like generic snails and crabs. Because not only would you have scout, you'd also have transport, which would be kind of cool to see. Because you could really throw something pretty far up there, like say those B2s that you could throw them out there really far. and have scouting party on whatever else you're bringing. So I think it's kind of cool. Like their list possibilities are massive right now.
Now, do you think Aqua Droids? Now, we've had lists kind of with either two of them or maybe even one of them,
Mhm.
but do you think like the Aqua Droids and the AAT could be even really well? Because that's a whole another huge moving wall, or maybe like you said, the snail and maybe one Aqua Droid with like maybe three crabs. Again, maybe like to save points, go with engagement protocols. And
Mhm.
if you want to make a list with me real quick, we'll do just
Sure.
to, again, to make the crab as cheap as possible. Engagements and comms jammer, I feel like is the easiest because again, they're going to move up
Hmm.
so fast, especially if you've got the
Yeah.
tag droid. And even Kraken's not that bad. But the only reason I had Kalani was because of the Strategize 2. I think Kraken has a much better blaster and melee profile, which again, everything's becoming a lot more melee oriented. Plus, is
Hmm.
he cheaper? Yeah, he's about five
I
points
think
cheaper
he's
anyway.
cheaper than Kalani, but I would say like with an exemplar unit, like I'm not using them for fighting a whole lot. I don't know if you should be, unless it's
Uh,
desperate times.
right.
Yeah,
Uh,
because like
let's
I don't
go
know,
ahead.
because I would think you'd want to keep them supporting your best piece, unless your best piece has died, and then Kraken becomes like a secondary good piece. But I don't know. It's kind of an interesting choice there.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I
Yeah.
think at least with the training slot, if he's gonna be throwing maybe even five with tenacity in melee, he
Oh,
does have five health.
yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and he surges to crit with red dice, so it's not that
That's
bad.
spicy.
Yeah.
That's spicy. That is spicy.
So maybe let's just say we do give him tenacity because maybe he's gonna get up close and personal. We need three, core. Let's see. So the B2s, maybe we give the. Do you think the regular B2 with three reds, or do you think the hot trooper?
I think probably the ACM. They have
Yeah.
the impact now natively. It's range one, so you might as well just get range one and then shoot. So it doesn't exhaust or anything. I think I would go ACM.
Okay. Let's go with the rad cannons on the other two B2s, and maybe you know what? Let's see. So I've got the snail tank with armor piercing
Hmm.
and defensive protocols, and
Nice.
they've got natural two more guns, and it's Arsenal 2 anyway. So I think you're going to be okay if you only have the one. You have one Aqua Droid with a
Yeah.
heavy, three crabs again. You've got your three core. You're at 9 activations, but you still have what, uh, 225 points left.
Ooh.
So obviously, I always want a force user.
Yeah.
I feel like Dooku could be pretty good. You get 40 points left, and it's not like you can't do like burst, maybe
Dooku.
choke, and I don't think barrier's necessary because I mean, your B2s are riding on
Yeah.
everything, and it's only trooper units you can guard, and the rest of it's either, your tank, your
Yeah.
crabs, and aqua. So it's no point for that. So
Yeah.
maybe,
No barrier.
maybe reflexes,
Probably
kind of save you
reflexes. I
points.
like if he's got Master Force 2, you might as well use it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Dooku. Yeah, that seems like it would be good. Because then that's 10 activations. Dooku, Kraken, and all the other stuff.
Yep, and you still
Yeah.
have
Nice.
35 points left. So I'm not exactly sure.
5 points. That's almost a B1 squad. Not quite.
Yeah, you know what? How about if maybe we take out a heavy
Got a heavy. Yeah,
and
that would do it.
we give one of them, two of them, maybe portable scanners, or even maybe one of them could have. No, they wouldn't be able to. It's 11 activations, 9.99.
That's
Uh,
good.
yeah, and again, giving the super tac droid the the extra dodges from portable scanner wouldn't be too bad.
No,
Maybe
that
if you got
wouldn't.
rid of tenacity and you just had a naked Naked Attack Droid. You could do electro binoculars, one with electro, one with portable scanner, so it kind of opens up your options. And then you still
Mhm.
have 5 points left, so maybe you give the Persuader tank comms jammer. So now, again, you still have 4 units with comms jammer,
Marley.
and that thing's moving in fast and hopefully protecting
Yeah.
the B2s.
Mhm. Mhm. That seems really good, actually. That sounds really fun.
Yeah,
Because then you're getting Scout on your TAC, your Kraken, right?
right.
Scout on Dooku, Scout on the B2. Not so Scout because they're gonna go transport. So Scout on a B1, is it?
Yeah, with radiation
One of the
cannon.
B1s. Right, yeah, the rag cannon one. And
Hmm.
then the other one will deploy normally,
Right.
probably. Yeah. And then your B2s get to ride the nail tank, which is really far. I forget what it is, but it's even bigger than the bus and even
Yes.
further than the bus they can go. So it's, yeah, that's really far. Wow. That seems really fun. And
Yeah.
then that tank hits so hard, as everybody knows from EXD. Less hard, but because it's not the Arsenal 3, but I mean, it's still good. Still really
Yeah.
good.
No, it still surges to hit. You still got critical
Hmm.
one in both either the ion or
Yeah.
the heavy, and then you've got armor piercing shells for extra impact. Um, so you've got
Yeah.
almost
That
everything.
sounds fun.
Your crabs have natural impact to your persuader tank's going to have impact. Let's see, impact maybe even four. Yeah, maybe impact four with armor piercing, or at least critical two, impact one, ion one. Your Aqua Droids have your impact two, and then your B1s obviously don't have anything. Your B2s will naturally have impact with the wrist rockets at range one, and then
Right.
Dooku's got impact two, pierce two. So
Hmm.
you don't have to worry about
No.
anything there. And then
That
you've
sounds
got
like
a.
Rebel vehicles be off the board before they could do anything. That's what that sounds like.
I would hope so. That bus would
Yeah.
not last a moment
That's no.
between
No.
the Persuader tank, sorry, the Snail tank or the Aqua Droids,
Mm.
and then the
No.
the Crab Droids getting into melee immediately with them with that impact to Pierce
Yeah.
one. So
That
it
would
doesn't
be
matter about the shields with the
that'd be
with the
game
bus.
over.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
and then between the crab, let's see, 3 Crab Droids, a tank, and Aqua Droids. Those are all line of sight blockers. So you have
Hmm.
5 line of sight blockers for your Dooku and or B2s if you at any point you need it.
Yep. What do you think you'd give reinforcements to in this list? Because there's so many options that are so good.
Yeah. No, I still give the reinforcements to the Crab Droids
Crab
um,
droids.
because again they don't have a hard point or they don't have like a gun
Sure.
and they're only melee. I would want to make sure that they get in as fast as possible just to keep them in the fight for as long as we can.
Yep.
But yeah, that's about probably about it. And then Dooku can just run behind him. He's gonna have probably have Scout one, and then
Yep.
double move, and then maybe burst of speed the next round because I feel no need not to use it as early as possible because
Yep.
you're going to be engaged in melee as fast as you can, and then you can start using his cards. Yeah, you don't have
Yep.
force push, but he's going to be doing some Dooku things, and you're going to have other if you're engaged with the crab droids early on, and then hopefully whoever's engaged with them is trying to either take them out and staying
Yep.
engaged, even though everyone can shoot the
Hmm.
crab droids. Hopefully, Dooku's just going to run in because they didn't get an order because of comms jammer, so they're
Right.
stuck there. And then maybe you gave an order to Dooku, have your cunning, you burst the speed in immediately, and you don't have. Maybe you used the card that what he's got relentless right with his one pip.
On the
Yeah,
one pip. Yeah. Yes. Relentless.
so
That's the turn you want to be using burst for sure.
yes, definitely.
Yep.
And then with
And then
versatile,
like
yeah,
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's such a well. Oh yeah, you could even versatile attack the things that are in with the crab droid because they can't be shielded from the lightning. So you could pick them off with that even. Wow,
oh yeah,
that's good. Woo, that's spicy. Yeah, Dooku is amazing. Um, I played Master Mode at Crucible and he was running him really well. And yeah, I was like, wow, he's impressive.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see the model they release for him. Since he's a
Uh,
soft plastic model, he'll be getting a resculpt. That's gonna be great. Because those new
yeah.
models they're making are mm, so good.
Yeah, I need to see them again. I think the Luke one is going to look really good. Op
Oh
Luke.
yeah,
Vader's going
Commander
to look
Luke
really good.
looks epic too. Because old Commander Luke doesn't look anywhere near as cool as the new one.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
and he was actually my first painted model, so he has like eyes this big. Um, so I don't run him because it's just like no. So I might run Commander Luke more once they redo him, but because that yellow jacket looks so good and yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to see Dooku's little refresh that he gets because I think seeing a model that looks like Christopher Lee with that epic beard and everything is gonna look so good.
Definitely.
Sir Christopher Lee, I should say.
Oh, yeah.
Can't
We got to,
can't drop the title. Yeah, I can't drop the title.
right? He worked for that really hard.
He did. He did. He did. Had
Um,
to be a spy and everything.
oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Hmm.
Cuz I think he even was even talking about that in Lord of the Rings in order to stab
Yeah.
someone in the back. He was like
Yep.
they're not going to scream.
Everybody's like,
Yeah.
"How do you know this?" He's like, "Yeah,
I've
really
seen
cool guy."
some things.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be neat to
Um,
see him. What if they'll give him a lightning, like a
um,
translucent lightning piece?
oh yeah,
I'm kind of hoping they do that for like Palpatine too.
Palpatine,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
or at least like have it as an extra piece,
Yeah,
like something that you can actually just attach if you wanted to.
that'd be awesome. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the because I know they've done some translucent pieces now, like the what are they BXs have it,
Oh yeah.
so they could totally do that. Or you paint it like the commando shield for Saxon. Yeah, that'd be fine too. Just as long as it's there,
Right.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty good paint jobs on Force Lightning, and just like the
Hmm.
lighting, the effect that they
Yep.
do is fantastic.
Yeah. So that'd be really cool if they do that on their resculpts.
Yeah. Well, I think that was a great discussion, man. I think that's a
Hmm.
great place to kind of like leave off. And what I'll
Okay.
do is, if you want to just send me the lists, I'll post them into the description for everybody. And
Okay. Sure. Like
yeah,
the links.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But thanks for joining me, man. Thanks for
Yeah.
hanging out
Thanks for having me.
and talking CIS with me. We'll have to again, like I always say, we'll always get in another video at some point. And are you having any tournaments coming up soon?
Yeah, supposed to have one this Saturday, in Tampa. So should be fun.
Hey, all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, should be fun. I'm taking the Rebels, so should be fun. I'm on the sleeper cell train right now. So
Do you have
with
three of
Bad
them?
Batch.
Two of or three of them?
So I'll just say my list because I've already played it. I guess a bunch of people. So Op Luke, Bad Batch, two Sleeper Cell, and then Biston Paths for anti-commando stuff. Because I figure you're still gonna see them, and it's also good for like vehicles and stuff. The 12 white surging is not any joke if you get into range 3. It's really good. And then Han as well.
Oh, cool.
So it's fun. And then two buses actually. Yeah. So it's a fun list. It's a really fun list. And um, turns out Han and Bad Batch are a really good combination. So
Is it the like where you have to if you give them the order and everyone's got to shoot at the Bad Batch, or
no, not so much. It's more like I you can do the peekaboo thing with both of them, and it's really fun.
oh yeah, okay.
Because if they wound something, then Han can come out and say, good night to that as well. So it's pretty fun. Because obviously Rebel Bad Batch isn't like one-shotting stuff as much as like say the Gar stuff does, because they don't have the precise, they don't have the pierce. So yeah, I've started playing them a little. Actually, like I mentioned on the last one, I've been using them to peekaboo more than I've been double moving them, and it's much better, much better, in my
Huh.
opinion.
I guess behind the
So,
bust, like your
yep,
mobile line of sight stuff.
yep, yep. Rebels have a lot of tricks like that they can do. So I think the Han Bad Batch combination is really fun. So
Man, well, you'll have to tell me how the tournament goes
okay,
and
yeah, I
keep
will
us
for sure.
updated. Because I'm guessing it's like a local tournament.
Yeah, it's actually LVO qualifier though, so should be fun.
Oh
Yeah, we're
boy.
supposed to have pretty good group. Um, yeah, a lot of famous Florida men and everything, so it should be a fun event.
Okay. Well, yeah. If you get the
Yeah,
chance, maybe in another one. I'd like to get Graham on to talk about PAX, and then maybe I can get y'all on to talk about this tournament, and maybe just kind of
sure.
see how the tournament scene is, especially either in Florida and I forgot where PAX was. What, like up northeast somewhere,
Somewhere,
probably.
yeah.
But all right, man.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen the tournament results for that yet, so that'll be interesting.
I think
I'll have to watch that one.
Rebels. I think Rebels wound up winning.
Really?
I think
Wow.
so. Yeah. I'm if what uh,
I have
I don't
to
remember
go
off the top of my
look
head,
at
but I
that.
think Rebels wound up winning. Nick Bodnar, I think, was the winner, if I'm not mistaken, maybe.
Okay. Wow.
A-
Nice.
a- And
I'll have
then
to go see his list.
yeah, there was also a triple dark list
Whoa.
with Vader and Gideon, and Vader still had Force Push, so that was a ton of activations, and that kind of inspired me to wind up making like a 13 act list with three Dark Troopers, three Dewbacks, Gideon, and like a whole bunch of other stuff. So um,
Wow. That's
yeah,
incredible that you can hit that. Is it
yeah,
shore troopers?
it's 10. Well, it's 10 acts and then 13 with the darks. So you've got
Yeah.
um, you only have one heavy with the darks. You only have the assault kind of gun on there and programmed.
Okay. That makes
Um,
sense. That makes sense. Hmm.
but yeah,
Sounds fun though.
there was a bunch of funky, just non-normal lists what you would see, and that's what I'm liking
Mm.
about 2.6 is like
Yeah.
it's nowhere near what we were used to before this.
Right.
So uh,
Yeah, it's not like you have to run this clone list or you have to run EXD or it's not like buckets anymore.
right,
So it's pretty cool. Like
yeah,
even Rebels, most people were running like Cassie and Ahsoka before the update. And that was like what they were running. And then there were like other lists, but it was always like specific lists pretty much. Like there'd like be the outlier or something, but now it's really cool because there's so many different things that you can do and it all interacts differently because you have more time to actually work out your idea, I think. And it feels like it's shorter, but ultimately you have more time because you're all up on the objective scoring. So you can pull off some of those tricks that you build into your list more, I think, ultimately.
right,
But it's fun. It's fun.
yeah. You'll have to tell me how the tournament goes, and maybe we can
For
get y'all
sure.
in and kind of talk about it. Maybe if is Austin going?
I think he is, yeah. Yeah, he's
Okay.
supposed to go. So
Maybe if you see him,
I'll show up and
maybe
be like, Austin won.
yeah, right. Surprise.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Well, you have to tell him like you and him need to get on, and we'll kind of discuss it
Yeah.
and kind of see what is winning, what's going on out there.
Hmm. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It should be exciting. I think there's probably gonna be a lot of different factions because people are trying a lot of things right now, and I know a lot of people are buying ISPs right now, so I'm expecting to see quite a few of those. So
Good. I think
the
the
beams.
extra, yeah, the Cody Beam cards are really good.
Hmm.
I can't pull it off for the life of me. I've tried, I think, at least once or twice to use Cody in vehicles, and it just does not work for me.
Dang.
Yeah, it takes a special
Yeah.
level of skill for that.
Yeah. It did win our last tournament, but I think that was the player. He was just really good, and he even went up against the invasion force and just was wiping down the droids with the beam. It was incredible.
Man,
So Yeah, it was good.
Well, that's
So,
good to know, man. I'm glad to hear.
yep. Yeah, it's fun. I'm enjoying it, Legion right now, and yeah, it's fun for sure.
Well, all right, man. I think this is a good spot to kind of close it out, and
Okay.
keep me updated on the tournament, and hopefully we can get you in maybe next week to just kind of talk about it with people
Yeah.
who were there or just yourself, either one. And yeah, but thanks for stopping by. Thanks for talking droids,
Yep.
and
Thanks for having me.
yeah, of course. And we'll get another one in soon.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Well,
See you
I'll talk to you
guys.
then.
Yeah. Peace out.